Hello, this is teddygaming, and welcome back to a very special video, because in today's one we're going to be interviewing someone very special, and that is Tara Sands. Now, she's done so many voices on so many TV shows, from Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, she's done Turtle voices, so she's like Angel and Tyler, so yeah.
About myself, yes. My name is Tara Sands. I'm a voice actor. That's why I'm in this room covered in foam. I have been voice acting since I was a kid. Growing up, I always wanted to be an actor. I did lots of theater, all kinds of different stuff, and I was just auditioning for everything I possibly could. Um, and I was in a local singing competition in high school when I was about 16, and there was a talent agent there, and she wanted to send me on auditions, and one of the auditions she sent me on was for a voiceover, and I didn't know what that was even, but I got this job doing a voiceover for a commercial. And I loved being in a recording studio. I loved doing fun things with my voice. I lived in New York. I did lots of theater and kept doing all that stuff, but now I live in Los Angeles, and all day long I just talk and do voiceover work.
Okay, so the first question is, have you seen the previous versions of the Turtles?
I was not a person who knew Ninja Turtles growing up. I mean, I knew who they were. I'd heard of it, but it wasn't, I was more into like Smurfs, stuff like that, Scooby-Doo. But I had never seen Ninja Turtles before I worked on it.
So, how did you find out about the role?
Well, I auditioned for Ninja Turtles I was working at 4Kids doing lots of different shows there. And I don't remember which characters I auditioned for. I probably auditioned for April when the show first started. And obviously I didn't get it. And Veronica Taylor did such a good job with it. And I don't remember if I auditioned for the role of Angel, which I eventually played, or if they just assigned it to me because I had done so much work there and they knew my voice by that point. I think I probably auditioned though. Um, I think I also played a little boy named Tyler. I don't think I auditioned for that role. Um, but I was excited because I had done mostly anime dubbing work at that studio. I had done other original animation in other places, but at 4Kids specifically, I had only done dubbing work. And Ninja Turtles was recorded as an ensemble, and I knew everyone was getting to record together, and I was really, really jealous because they would talk about how much fun they were having, and I just kept hoping to be part of it. So I was really happy when I got to go into the studio with all of them and record. And they had like a fancy voice director who was calling in from Los Angeles, which was a big deal. Um, and the cast was great, and it was just a very, very different way of working. So I was really excited to be part of it.
So, was it hard to get into character?
Is it hard to get into character? That's a good question. Listen, Angel was a lot tougher than I am. She's a lot more street smart than I am. I can't, she had a much tougher life than I did. Um, so I remember getting the script and, thinking, okay, this is obviously a stretch. It's not, I don't relate, but I do, what you have to find are the things that you do relate to. So, you think about hardships in your own life. You think about she needed the help from these guys. So you think about a time in your life when you really needed help. You don't have to live an exact situation to as an actor. That's the fun of being an actor is when the character is not like you and you can find things from your own life to pull on. Um, and once you get in the booth, if when the writing is good, which it was on that show, things just start happening organically, and you find yourself getting into character. It just happens when the words are good on the page. There's less work for us to do, and especially when you have great actors around you and a great director, that just makes it all easier.
And because you played a lot of characters on Turtles, did you have like a favorite character to voice?
A favorite? Angel was my I loved voicing Angel. I don't really remember Tyler. I just know that that was the name of a character I played. I don't think he did very much. But Angel was tough and cool, and I don't think of myself as tough and cool, so so Angel would have been my favorite.
Oh,
I'm just a big dork.
okay, well, the next one is a little bit more weird one for Toy characters. Because you played a character called Lorna Rookie, and he was part of another franchise. Did you feel any sort of pressure because he was part of another franchise?
Which character were you talking about? I'm sorry, can you say the name
Uh,
again?
the character Lorna Rookie, I think it was like a panda.
I don't even remember that. Wait, what character? Can you spell it out for me? A
Um,
panda?
yeah, I think it was. It was
We were all doing a lot of shows at that time, but that a panda is not. I I don't that name Lord nor Yuck. That does not sound familiar to me. Did you find that online?
no, it's just it was kind of very voiced. Uh,
It's what? It's
It was a
did it
kind of
say
very
that I played that character?
yeah.
Hmm. That one I don't remember. I mean, I was doing a lot of roles at that time on Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and um Shaman King and fighting Foodons. I'm gonna while we're talking, I'm gonna look that one up, but I don't know who that is. So what was the rest of the question? I'm like looking this up now. Lord, see, sometimes the internet just gets things wrong, but that is a new name to me. Noryuk. I'm seeing that that is a show called I've never even seen this show before. I
Oh,
wonder. I
I
have
was a character in Turtles.
Usagi. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, this is a character on Turtles.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Did I play? It's entirely possible. No, it says here that it was voiced by someone named Rebecca Honig.
I was looking at you on DB. It says it on there. So
Oh, okay. On this fandom, this it says that it was Rebecca someone else. IMDb. You know what? I'm gonna make sure I correct that because that they get stuff wrong all the time and they make it so difficult to get stuff taken down. So I'm glad we had this talk. Now we can correct it.
okay, so the next one. Because you was in a lot of episodes, and did you have do you have a favorite episode of from
Oh
Turtles?
gosh. I can't say that I do because it was so long ago, but what I do remember is that um the cast got to we didn't usually watch the shows we worked on together because it just didn't happen that much. But I do remember one we had for the first episode, we all got together on a Saturday morning and watched the show at Sam Riegel's apartment, and I made Rice Krispie treats that looked like turtles. That is my memory of working on the show are the Rice Krispie treats I made because I was very proud of them. I bought like candy to do I bought like different color candy to make the different headband colors and so while I don't remember the episode, I do remember our party to watch it.
But can you still do the voices?
Yeah, sure. You know, a lot of once in a while we get called back to do the voices many years later. For example, like Yu-Gi-Oh, we did the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, and that was like 15 years later. I had to go back and do the voice of Mokuba again. Or with Shaman King, we did a reboot of the show, and I got to do the same voice again. So, yeah, luckily most of our voices, hopefully our voices don't change too much so that we can still reprise the roles we've played.
Well, nothing said. And with Gabe, if I should do some lines, very childhood, or looking low childhood
I
memories.
can try.
Um,
I can try. I don't always remember what the voices sound like, so I'll try my best.
well, this one's from Angel.
Oh
So,
gosh, I don't know.
oh, so
It
this
was like many years ago.
This is the first
Do
line.
you remember things from 15 years ago, like like little
Yes,
things? You do? You
a bit
remember
too
what you
much.
sounded like? You can remember your voice from 15 years ago.
A little bit.
Ah, oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess she would probably sound something like, "Yeah, well, I don't see no badge on you." Does that sound like her?
Hmm. Yep.
Okay. Phew. Whew.
Wow. The last one, like, like for some reason, these are the ones which have really stuck for me throughout all the years, which is the so angel.
Stopping you from making the biggest mistake of your life. Something like that.
Wow, thank you. That's really my childhood.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that it worked. I'm gonna have to find those episodes now and see what I sounded like.
Almost spot on. So
Okay. All right. Good.
so some other questions about some other shows which you worked on, which I watched as a kid, which I was really enjoyed performances on. One was Generator Rex. What was that like working on that show?
Oh, oh, that was a really special show. I worked with incredible actors on Generator Rex. That was another show where it was not a dub, so we got to all record together. There were, I think, 6 or 7 of us in the booth. Really, it was like a class for me because these people were so talented. I got to play a character named Cersei, who was also, not kind of similar to Angel in the way she was like, part of. She had lots of issues, not a great childhood, a street kid kind of, and was looking to these people for help, but she in one of the episodes, she kind of joined a gang and was looking to them for help, but that wasn't the right kind of help, and luckily Rex helps her through that. But she's another one who's a lot cooler and tougher than me, and those are fun to play.
And then you also done a little Pokemon. And what's your what's it been like working on Pokemon?
Pokemon's a lot of fun to work on. I worked on the first 8 seasons of the show, uh, where I played characters like Bulbasaur, Oddish, Clefairy, and then a bunch more, and then a lot of human characters like Jasmine and Richie and Tori and young Professor Oak and Bugsy. There's a whole list, but and then the cast changed, but so late, much later in season 23, I was able to come back to the show and do some new roles, which was really fun. Um, and I get to work with a great team over there. It's, I mean, it's Pokemon. What's not to love? You're very lucky to be part of it.
So one final question about Pokemon, which I've always wondered, because you play the actual Pokemon themselves, do you have to like keep like redoing the actual like lines over and over again, or is it just like a one done type thing?
No, they need it to match the specific mouth flap on the Pokemon themselves. So now what they do is they used to sometimes try to pull it from, if we had done a ton of them, they could sometimes use our older ones and then make it work through the magic of audio editing. But now even if it's only like a couple of lines, they do have us come in to record so that it matches the emotion and the timing and all of that. So yeah, we get to do it every single time, which I prefer.
And because you've worked on so many projects, doing original voice acting and also dubbing, and do you like and which one do you prefer to do?
I like working with lots of people and having someone to play off of. Like if someone says a line to me, I like to be able to respond because I think it's a more organic and real performance. So I prefer working with other people. But I've also done some really fun shows that were dubbed. So it's hard to say, but I think I like the communication and the interaction when it's new animation that's new to the US and I get to create the role from scratch.
Um, and because you worked on loads of other projects like games, movies, and TV shows, do you have like a preferred favorite one to do?
Well, games are a lot of yelling. So sometimes that hurts. So I'm okay. I love working on them when they're the dialogue. Because sometimes some of the dialogue in games now is just fantastic. There's some really amazing scenes. Um, but I think my love, really, my what I like to do the most is animation and new characters and I love when I even just come in and they say, okay, Tara, you have to do 5 or 6 characters that all have to sound different. And I love the challenge of figuring out their different voices, because that to me, it's a workout and I love it. And it's challenging and interesting and collaborative, and figuring that out with the director and all of that is really fun.
And most recently, they announced they're doing a podcast for like 4 kids flashback thing. Um, uh, uh,
Yes.
I also uh, uh, um,
Sure, I can talk about that. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm doing a podcast also. Uh I go to a lot of conventions, like anime conventions and comic conventions, where I get asked a lot of questions about 4 Kids. And 4 Kids is the company that produced the one of the versions of Ninja Turtles. They were also the company that brought Pokemon to the United States and to English speaking countries and licensed it in many, many territories. So people have a lot of questions about the company itself. The company did eventually go bankrupt and lost the license to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And tried to do a lot of other original programming. And people kind of just want to hear the story behind it from both a business point of view, an artistic point of view, how decisions were made there, because there were many, many edits that had to be made for it to be allowed to be on children's television. So my co-host and I are interviewing as many people who worked at 4 Kids as we can. The podcast is called 4 Kids Flashback, the number 4, not the word 4. And it's available wherever you listen to podcasts, and hopefully we'll get to do it for a while. We've interviewed a lot of people and we're answering a lot of questions. It's been really, really fun.
And that podcast, is it just like one like show per thing, or is it like one per person with their experience on 4 kids?
It's one person at a time. It's so some of the episodes are actors. There's a lot of actors people want to hear from, especially the ones that have not done a lot of interviews, because they haven't had a chance to hear their story yet. Or one of the big questions is, like you saw just now, how you thought I played one role, but I didn't. There's a lot of questions about verifying what roles people played. So hopefully, if we talk to enough people, we can fill in some of those missing pieces and figure out who played what. No records were kept of any of that. We just interviewed somebody who worked at one of the recording studios. He said at one time there was a spreadsheet of who played the characters, but it's gone. So we're hoping we can figure it out. A lot of the time, like with this thing, that the role you asked me about, until I actually hear the sound bite, I can't confirm or deny if I played it. I have to hear the sound clip to know. So I'll go do that research. And also we're interviewing the engineers and the writers, and hearing about what their time there was like, jumping from show to show, dealing with the overseas artistically dealing with the Japanese teams, making the changes with them, doing rewrites, all that kind of stuff. Figuring out where all the lost media is. I think we're hopefully gonna figure some of that out.
So, final two questions. So one of them going back to Toes, because you played Tyler and also his mum. What was that like? And to be the parent and also the kid.
Yeah, that's always I love doing that. So the question was, what was it like to play Tyler and also his mother?
Yeah.
There's nothing more fun than that. Like talking to your that's one of the really funny things as an actor in voiceover that does not happen if you're working on screen. You don't get that would never happen on screen, that I would play a mother and their son at the same time. So that is one of the unique things to voiceover, and maybe one of my favorite things to do is have a conversation with myself as 2 different characters.
Okay, so the last question is, do you have a favorite turtle?
Do I have a favorite turtle? Oh gosh, it would be really unfair to pick one because then the other turtles would be mad at me. And I gotta tell you, I'm a really bad fighter, and I would not do well if they got mad at me and tried to beat me up. But um, I'll say this: I like the one the best who likes pizza,
Okay.
which is all of them. But I will say that we used to have Pizza Wednesdays at 4Kids because that was the day that the Ninja Turtles had their recording session. So I got to eat pizza with them almost every Wednesday for a while.
Wow. So yeah, that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for being here. And is there anything you like to
Thank
like
you.
promote or anything like that?
Just 4kidsflashback.com. You can find our stuff there. And on social media, I'm at Tara Sands VO. Thank
Okay,
you so much. This was so much fun.
you're welcome, and thank you so much for doing this and also doing the voices. Remember childhood.
Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you.
Uh,
What
um,
time is it there? You better, maybe, is it bedtime there? You're up
half
late, aren't
10
you?
and half
Yeah.
10.
Okay. I'll let you go then.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.